What's that dog doing? Huh. Oh, hey, we are live and welcome to Fridays on Excellence, the the place where we experiment with what's excellent in our lives, how we can become more excellent, and how's that for an entry? My goodness. I just got done taking the dog down to the room so she doesn't bark during the broadcast, and I lost my head. So let's start over. How shall we? So, welcome to Fridays on Excellence, where we dig into 6 areas of life to find out what we can be, how we can be more excellent through clarity and action. My name is Scott Kokenauer. I'm your host, and I am so glad that you took time out to tune in. Today's episode is a recap on excellence. We are normally in one particular area, like spiritual or relational or financial or so on. But today, after we go through all 6 of those in succession, then what we do is we dive into a recap of all those 6 areas. So we're still going to have the 3 questions, the 2 pillars, and the 1 takeaway. But let's look at the 3 questions. Okay, our first question is, what do you consider excellent? What do you consider excellent? Question number 2, who do you consider an excellent person? Do you know anybody who is excellent? And number 3, what do you see when you Google the word excellent? Which means you have to go Google the word excellent. What do you see when you Google excellent? Those are your 3 questions. Let's move on to the 2 pillars of excellence, and I'm going to show you on the screen. Those of you watching on the podcast, I will put a link to the workflowy outline from which I am conducting today's live session. So what we're doing is an excellence recap. Now, we're going to do a recap before we do the 2 pillars. So let's look at the recap just a second. Now, I'm going to share with you 3 things under the recap: curated information sources, where to find it, and what is excellence. Curated information. Number 1, what you are currently watching right now or listening to right now is the Fridays on Excellence show. We are also doing exclusive interviews all through the week. And so that is a portion of the Art of Excellence, two parts of the Art of Excellence, Fridays on Excellence, and the exclusive interviews. Now, the Fridays on Excellence, there's a weekly rotation to the Fridays on Excellence. Fridays on Excellence, first of all, is noon Eastern for no longer than 30 minutes every Friday, noon Eastern. And you can find it live on Facebook or YouTube or Periscope. And if you go to servingstrong.com/Friday, you will see where you can locate that YouTube link and that Facebook link, as well as any downloads and that sort of thing. Weekly rotation. So we start with the spiritual excellence. That's the topic of the 2 pillars. Then relational. The next week would be financial, emotional, physical excellence, vocational excellence, and then a recap. And that recap is an overview of excellence, which is what this episode is. That's what the weekly rotation is for the Fridays on Excellence. The other component of curated information for you is the exclusive interviews with individual subject matter experts. And I got to tell you, I have learned more from interviewing interesting people. Everybody's interesting because we all have something that we're passionate about, and I have been able to talk with some of the most incredible individuals. I don't have a set schedule for that, but you can watch. I'll show you where to find these exclusive interviews. But if you're interested in being one of the ones that I interview, feel free to email me at coach@servingstrong.com. If you've got something that you're involved in, that you're doing, that would fit into one of the areas of excellence that we look into: spiritual, relational, financial, emotional, physical, or vocational, shoot me an email and we'll set up a podcast interview that we will record, and then I will post that. So where do you find these curated pieces of information? Well, on playlists. Where are the playlists? They are on YouTube and on the podcast app that however you listen to your podcast. YouTube, what you'll do is go to Fridays on Excellence. That is a particular playlist on the Serving Strong channel. And while that's pulling up, we'll look at exclusive interviews. And there's another playlist on YouTube that is kind of taking the exclusive interviews and breaking them into little segments with specific topics. And I've called that playlist Excellent Shorts. So we're talking about excellent shorts on that. Here's the Fridays on Excellence YouTube channel. It's taking quite a bit probably because I'm broadcasting right now. You'll get the idea. If you go to YouTube, search Serving Strong, and when you get to Serving Strong, you will see various playlists on that channel. One is called Fridays on Excellence, which is all these shows. The next one is Exclusive Interviews, which is my interviews with different interesting people. And third is Excellent Shorts playlist, which is the little segments coming out of the exclusive interviews. That's the YouTube. Then podcast, what you're looking for in the podcast is the art of excellence. I have Fridays on Excellence here, but you're looking for the art of excellence. That's what we're doing, exclusive interviews, and the excellent shorts will be coming soon. Fridays on Excellence is on there. I'm going to put here, the podcast is called The Art of Excellence. You want to search that on your favorite podcast. So that's where to find this curated information. Now I want to move briefly now to what is excellence. When we're talking about digging into 6 areas of life and trying to determine how to be excellent and seeing what we can find, the definition of excellence is the act of becoming the fullest expression of your unique God-given design. Very specifically chosen words. The act of becoming. We will never fully reach pure excellence in this life. But the act of becoming excellent is, in fact, excellent. The act of becoming the fullest expression of your unique God-given design. There are 2 components to that definition. The first is the fullest expression. The second is the God-given design. Now, what we do is we flip those and we want to get clarity on our God-given design before we enter into the execution of the fullest expression. So let's look at clarity. Clarity is you becoming more and more and more clear on what it is that makes you unique and how that uniqueness fits into the world to make the world a better place. Clarity. It's amazing what happens to the human spirit when there is clarity around our God-given design. When you come to realize what it is that you bring to the world, it energizes you. It gives you a sense of euphoria. It's one of those aha moments when you think, this is what I was born to do. If you're listening to this podcast or watching this live, you know what that's like if you have experienced it. But I have to tell you, that's only part of the picture. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just incomplete. What comes after that is executing on that clarity. When you get clear, you're in danger of just milking the euphoria of discovering what that unique design is, but never really making it work for you. That's why we focus on execution, the fullest expression of your unique God-given design. That's what excellence is. So what we're going to do is move into the two pillars of excellence now. The first pillar is clarity and execution. The two components of excellence are clarity and execution. Let's look at clarity for a moment. We first have to get clear before we execute on the expression of that clarity. So, how do you get clarity? Well, you choose a milestone, a conceptually defined horizon. What's the next horizon in your life? Part of understanding what that milestone is what do you want? Ask yourself, what do I want? What's working right now that I want to see more of? What is not working that I need to stop? Or what is the next level for me? Because the level I'm on right now isn't working. So what's working? What's not working? What do you want? Those are questions. Those are type of coaching questions. Think of them as the 3 coaching questions under clarity. Then choose a date. 1 month out, 3 months out, a year out, 3 years out. The further out you go, the more conceptual you need to be. Because, look, you don't know what's going to happen to you as soon as this episode is over, let alone a month from now, a year from now, 3 years from now. But you can become enough clear on the general direction of your next horizon. That's what clarity is all about. It's choosing a milestone, choosing a date, and keeping it conceptual. Because what really happens of significance is excellence. So let's look at is execution. So let's look at execution. Here are the ways that you become excellent at execution. You brainstorm all the possible actions that will help move you toward that milestone that you're looking to achieve. Now, you're not going to have time to do all those actions because life is life. It's the whirlwind. You've got to continue to work. You've got to continue to take care of your family, all of those things. So the second step is to pick the 20% that will yield 80% of the progress toward your milestone. This is a matter of prioritizing. It's a matter of looking at what's the few things that I could do that would yield most of my progress. You're not going to be able to do all. So commit to those actions. Commit to those 1 or 2 actions for 12 weeks. I get this concept from the book, The 12-Week Year by Brian Moran, Moran. I highly recommend that book. It helps you to break down your goal into a long enough, but not too long period of time. And that's where this comes from. Commit to your actions and only 1 or 2, because less is more. When you can focus on something and be successful at it for 12 weeks, you get further faster. Now, under committing to these 2 actions, you must do 2 things. 2 things. The first thing is pick a trusted advisor. Pick a trusted person, someone who will receive your agenda and be there for you when you do the second thing, and that is check in weekly with them. Highly important. Based on research, you are 95% more likely to succeed at a goal when you have someone with whom you are checking in on a regular basis. Who doesn't want to increase their odds by 95%? I know I do. And to that degree, or to that end, I have created a kind of an online connection with as a group. It's called the 95 Club, which picks up the concept that you are 95% more likely to achieve a goal. You can find this on servingstrong.com/95. The numbers 9 and 5. On the screen, for those of you watching, you will see this page. What if this year was your best year ever? And it talks about the research, and everything that you need is in one place. You get clarity on your goal. You get advice from the other members who are a part of the plan, and you get great value because for $25 a month, you increase your chances of succeeding at a goal by 95%. It's not for everyone. It might be for you. 95 Club. Now, after you've committed to these actions and you've checked in for 12 weeks, you do what is called a very thorough review on the 13th week. 90 days is 13 weeks. You act for 12 weeks, you review on the 13th week. On that 13th week, you ask yourself questions like, what did I learn about me? What did I learn about that conceptual horizon that I set out there in front of me? What worked? What didn't work? What's my gut feeling about my progress? What happens here is you will know more after 12 weeks of action than you did when you started that 12 weeks. That new knowledge then begins to shape and mold what is currently conceptual and creates a little bit more clarity. You take that and you course correct and select the next 20% of actions that will yield 80% of your progress and continue for another 12 weeks. You continue that cycle. Here's what happens. By focusing on a desired outcome and acting on specific actions, you are training your brain to build connections, synapses. You will start noticing things you otherwise would never notice. You pick up on things people say that give you insights because of your continued devotion to your outcome. The outcome, which starts out conceptual, refines and becomes clearer with each 90-day sprint. Therefore, doing this process, you accelerate yourself toward your desired outcome. Think of this like your 90-day accelerator. That is the first pillar, which are the two components of excellence, which is clarity and execution. Now, what are the benefits? That's the second pillar, the benefits of pursuing excellence. Well, the two benefits have to do with today and tomorrow. Today, you will have more fulfillment. If you are in the act of pursuing the fullest expression of your unique God-given design, one of the benefits of that pursuit is that you will have a more fulfilling today. The second benefit is that tomorrow there will be less regret. The things that you are doing today to pursue the fullest expression of your unique design will put you on a path that will minimize the regrets. Now, you can start pursuing your excellence, your fulfillment, your expression of your unique design, regardless of your age. Even if you're 90 years old and you're listening to this and you're thinking, my life is over. Well, if your heart's beating and you're breathing, your life is still going on. There's always a future, even if that's one day, 1 week, 1 month, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 30 years. You can turn the tide on your regrets. We all have regrets. This is not going to eliminate the regrets that you have achieved up to this point, but it can minimize the regrets going forward. Those are the two benefits of excellence. And so those are the two pillars of excellence for this episode. We're going to now move into the takeaway. Your takeaway today is simply to download the show schedule. And the show schedule can be found on servingstrong.com/Friday. Let me get there for you to show those of you watching live. I'm going to type in servingstrong.com/Friday. When you get to this page, there will be a button that is in blue that says the 2021 season. When you click on that, it will take you to a document that you can make a copy of, and you click on make a copy, and that will give you the date and the area of focus that we will have on each Friday live show. So it's taking, there it is. So on the next show, on the 19th, we will be talking about spiritual excellence. So if you don't really care about spiritual excellence, don't worry about it. If you're really interested in knowing more about emotional excellence, then you'll want to set your calendar for 12 p.m. noon on March 12th, for example, because that's the next time we will talk about emotional excellence. Like any schedule, because things happen, this is subject to change, which we will let you know. And because you're getting a copy of this, when there's a change, you will see that change. That's the takeaway. So this has been another episode of the Fridays on Excellence show, where we dig into 6 life areas and we determine what we can do to become more excellent in those 6 life areas. My name is Scott Kokenauer. I'm your host. And again, I'm so glad that you took time out to tune in. Let's have an excellent week. I'll talk to you next week.